Hello, friends on Substack, social media strangers hearing me for the first time, and friends in my network and community. How is everyone being today? Wow, it's been a heavy week. So, we're here to recover and recap some of these themes as we continue to hit the high point, the height of Mercury retrograde season, honing in on our communication style and making sure all of our T's are crossed and I's are dotted. It's been an intense week. Today is Friday the 13th, and I woke up to a rain windstorm overnight that somehow blew my window open, and my wind chimes right above my window started to sing very loudly in the middle of the night. So I had been in the middle of a dream and woke abruptly to the sound of the wind chimes, which became part of my dream. So it was a very strange way to come about and start my day. And then I couldn't go back to sleep after that moment because the wind just continued to howl, and I had to make sure that my girls had a safe way to get to school. So I have had a bumpy start of my day, which has ended in a beautiful, relaxing evening that has brought me here. All right, so let's get into it. So 2 weeks ago, the system stuttered. The Virgo full moon, that sharp surgical lunar eclipse that we had, pulled the plug for a moment. The lights flickered, the feed paused. And in that pause, something uncomfortable came back. Not the algorithm, not the narrative, but you coming home to your body. Because when Virgo energy cuts through the fog, it doesn't ask how things look, it asks how things function. And many of us realized something in those days after the eclipse, that we've been running ourselves like machines, optimizing productivity, managing our image, curating our emotions for public consumption, input, output, repeat. But the machine is tired. And the deeper truth Virgo exposed was this: we've been spending enormous amounts of energy not feeling what's underneath: the grief, the rage, the disillusionment, the quiet recognition. Systems all around us, political, digital, cultural, are built to keep us in a constant loop of reaction rather than reflection. Meanwhile, the sun continues its journey through Pisces, and Pisces is here to dissolve edges. It blurs the line between empathy and emotional contagion, between your feelings and the collective mood being broadcast into your nervous system every day. At its highest frequency, Pisces gives us art, music, prayer, compassion, the ability to dissolve cruelty and to remember that we belong to one another and we are all the same. But in a culture running on influence, Pisces becomes something else entirely: narrative saturation, emotional engineering, influence disguised as authenticity, public relations rebranded as personal truth. We have learned over the last century, during the long age of Pisces, that the human nervous system is a lever. Push the right emotion at the right time, and you get the right reaction. And now that mechanism lives inside the algorithm. It knows exactly where the soft spots are: fear, outrage, empathy, hope. It pulls the strings, and we feel it instantly, right in the gut, right through the heart, every time. But here's where the astrology ahead shifts the story, because as we move through these weeks after this eclipse, these two giant planets, Saturn and Neptune, are quietly settling into Aries. And Aries is not interested in manipulation. Aries is interested in agency. Where Pisces dissolves identity into the collective ocean, Aries is here to say, who are you actually? Not the brand, not the role, not the persona you've been optimizing in your daily interactions, but the living, breathing, instinctive self underneath it all. Saturn entering Aries begins a long cycle of accountability around identity: how to use your will, how to use your anger, how to claim space in the world. Neptune entering Aries, meanwhile, dissolves old myths about leadership, heroism, and individual power, while simultaneously inviting us to imagine new ones. And this combination is volatile, because when illusion meets instinct, something has got to give. Which is why these weeks before this, or these days before the Pisces new moon next week, are so important, because we are in a threshold. Virgo showed us the cracks in the system, and Pisces asked us, to feel what those cracks mean. And Aries will soon ask us what we're going to do about it all. But before action comes clarity. Before clarity comes stillness. And before stillness comes the courage to notice when something you're feeling might not actually belong to you. That quiet moment when the body says, hang on, this emotion feels planted. This urgency feels manufactured. This panic, it's actually not mine. And when that recognition lands, something extraordinary happens. Your nervous system returns to its rightful owner. It's not given to the feed, not to the outrage cycle, not to endless performance of productivity, just simply you being human. And that might be the most revolutionary act available to all of us right now, not overthrowing institutions, not predicting the collapse, but quietly reclaiming the sovereignty of our own attention. So as we move through these last days of Pisces season, leading up to the new moon in Pisces, and as Saturn and Neptune begin planting their flags firmly into Aries territory, here are 3 small but powerful tips that you can start doing now. First, reduce the noise. So Pisces season really amplified emotional signals. So if you're constantly plugged into the collective feed, such as I was this last month, your nervous system cannot tell the difference between genuine feeling and psychological programming. This is exactly how I feel right now. Create pockets of silence. That's what I'm working on this week. Walk without headphones, put your phone down earlier, let the inner weather report come through without interference. Number 2, tend to the body before the story. I love this one. Virgo reminds us that the body keeps the score. I know it's so cliche by now to hear this, but we got to drink more water. We got to move gently. We got to sleep when we're tired, not because it's a productivity hack, but because a regulated nervous system is so much harder to manipulate. Clarity lives in the body. It lives in our intuition, not in the comment section. And third, get honest about where your energy is leaking. This coming Pisces new moon will invite a reset of emotional boundaries. So notice now, where are you overgiving? Where are you performing compassion instead of actually feeling it? And where are you staying loyal to dynamics that quietly drain your life force? You don't need to fix it all yet. Just notice, become aware, observe a roll on. Because awareness is the first act of sovereignty. And sovereignty is the medicine Aries season is about to demand from us all. So hang in there. April's going to feel really intense, but these days feel a bit strange, like the fog is lifting in patches rather than all at once. Moments of clarity will shoot through. Moments of confusion will still be there. Moments when the old narrative tries to pull you back in, that's all normal. Just keep returning to the quiet signal underneath the noise. The one that says, you're allowed to think for yourself. You're allowed to feel what you actually are feeling. You're allowed to step out of the script. And if you can, find the humor in all of this, even now, especially now, because humor, strangely enough, is the fastest way the nervous system remembers, I think. And it's free. All right. So I'm wishing you all a very good week ahead and a beautiful weekend to rest in these coming 2 days. And a blessed Friday the 13th, y'all. Namaste.